How do you unclench a tightly clenched fist? Do you apply just as much force? No, you just relax. That's how you let things go. r/AskReddit by online comps. What's a quote that has just stuck with you? All those days that came and went, little did I know that they were life. Wow. This is so short and sweet you almost don't realize exactly how much it's saying in so little words and just how powerful those words are. As an adult, I find myself living for the weekend. I don't even pay attention to what is happening during the work week. I just try to survive. I blink and another week has gone by. Another month. Another year. And little did I know that those days were my life. Jesus Christ, you just yeeted me full send into existential dread. If you loan someone $20 and you never see them again, it was probably worth it. If you don't know what you want, you end up with a lot you don't. It took me until I was 31 to realize what I wanted to do when I grow up. I wish I would have found it when I was younger because I thought about it here and there. Oh well, I'm really happy now. Isn't it funny how day by day nothing changes, but when we look back, everything is different. That's why I have 365 different shirts, all slightly a different color, making a rainbow throughout the year. Despite each one looking the same as the one the day before, and the same as the one the day after. Edit. Now to find someone who actually lets you buy exact hexadecimal values of shirts to do the rainbow effect. I know you aren't serious, but one of those picture-a-day videos where the person did this would be so cool. There is no sadder sight than a young pessimist. Mark Twain. Oof, don't I feel attacked? That's a big chunk of the Reddit population. How do you unclench a tightly clenched fist? Do you apply just as much force? No, you just relax. That's how you let things go. From a dear friend who was suffering from extreme pain. Edit. Thank you all for your kind words. Receiving all these awards have put a big smile on my face because they are a proof that I'm no longer the only one benefiting from this quote. Makes me feel like I haven't just been wasting time on Reddit. Most importantly, it is also a proof that no matter what hardship you're going through right now, you're certainly not alone. Reminds me of a bed's hand monologue in Community. I have discovered the meaning of the giant hand. A hand has two functions, to grip and to release. But without both of these powers it is useless. Like newborn infants, we grab what comes near us, hoping to control it, taste it, jam it into another child's eye. But the time we spend in control of our world is the time we spend letting go of others. Ideas, stories, pride, girls and soft sweaters, video games, buttered noodles. Grip one for too long, and you lose so much that you've never held. This giant hand was sent to all of us as an invitation to increase our mastery over the power to hold on and let go. Edit. Since so many people like this quote, here's the scene it's from. I recommend Community to anyone looking for a new show. It's funny, heartfelt, dives into genres, has animated episodes, an episode exploring different timelines, all kinds of awesome stuff, and it's my favorite show of all time. For riding motorcycles. Don't dress for the ride, dress for the slide. I just have this image of a guy in full motorcycle gear hesitantly going down a park slide, and then getting an ice cream cone after. It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness. That is life. When I was a kid I thought this was super deep lol. It is pretty deep. I would imagine it means something like, don't be too hard on yourself and keep trying. The world breaks everyone, and after, many are strong at the broken places. Ernest Hemingway. That's tragic and beautiful. He should be a writer. This is the last part of that quote. It's even more tragic. But those that will not break it kills. It kills the very good and the very gentle and the very brave impartially. If you are none of these you can be sure it will kill you too, but there will be no special hurry. How sad it is that we give up on people who are just like us. Mr. Rogers. Well, I gave up on myself years ago, so at least I'm consistent when giving up on others. I was drinking with a friend of mine years ago, and he mentioned how in gardening, some people dig holes in their flower beds and put pint glasses in with a little bit of beer in the bottom. At night the slugs smell the beer, go over the lip, fall and then get trapped and drown in the beer. Then he said something like, sometimes I think we're the slugs. Edit. Thanks for the silver, kind stranger. Sometimes you're the pigeon. Sometimes you're the statue. You can't make a racehorse out of a pig, but you can make a very fast pig. Follow your heart, but take your brain with you. No idea who said it, but I love it. Captain Disillusion ends all his videos with a similar quote. Love with your heart, use your head for everything else. The days are long, but the years are short. In regards to raising kids. So many days you just can't wait till bedtime, so you can have some peace. But then sometimes you look at them, and wonder how they got so big so fast. Dad of a 14-month-old and another on the way. I remember every day of my son so far, sorta. They were so long, and so new, and so fun, and so terrifying and so wonderful. I can't believe he's well on his way to 2. I can tell you now, I remember bringing him home from the hospital with my wife and just being like, those dummies know we aren't ready for this, right? But then you just go along. If he cried, I held him, and fed him, and changed him, and pretty much one of those things fixed whatever it was. And every day was long and hard and wonderful, and he started rolling and crawling and standing, and next thing I knew he was walking, and I wasn't ready. I never understood why someone would say treasure this time. I was always like treasure wailing up every 2 hours. Treasure being vommed, or pooped or drooled on. I was always like treasure wailing up every 2 hours. Treasure being vommed, or pooped or drooled on. Lol. The months into being a dad you have this weird tolerance for getting barfed on. A colleague watched my son barf a bit on my shoulder, and I just wiped it off with my hand. Gave it a quick sniff, and wiped it on my jeans like men. He's like, how does that not freak you out? And I'm like, PFFT, that was just a little burp's worth. I'll worry when he pukes his guts into my beard. A little milk and drool on my arm is nothing. I wasn't sure I wanted to be a dad. Then they hand you a loaf of human in the delivery room, and, for most guys, I imagine, a little voice in your head goes, they just handed you a person. This person needs you. Man the fuck up. If you had a good dad, do your best to do what he did, and you'll probably be okay. If you had a bad dad, try to do what you wish your dad had done. Or just do your best damn Andy Griffith impression, and take the kid fishing, and make sure he learns to put his bike in the garage. Sorry for the long rant. As a dude who a year ago wasn't so sure about this whole dad thing, I'm hella glad I had this time to grow. It's 4 AM, my 5-month-old just woke for the second time. I'm crying and feeding him. Damn you and your excellent post. I do not fear death. I had been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born, and had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it. Mark Twain. Sucking at something is the first step to being sort of good at something. Jake the dog. Adventure Time has some amazing quotes. My personal favis. Something weird might just be something familiar viewed from a different angle, and that's not scary, right? Edit. Makes me happy seeing all this love for Adventure Time. Glad my most upvoted comment is about my favorite show. Another one I like is people get built different. We don't figure it out, we just respect it. And honestly, when I notice in being judgmental, this quote puts me in check. Your value doesn't decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. Edit. Whoa, thanks for the silver and gold. I recall watching a video of a teacher explaining this to his class. He used a $20 bill as an example. He crumpled it and asked the class if they still wanted it. Of course they did. It was still 20 bucks. His point was, regardless of what you're going through and how some may view you, your value doesn't change. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Second best time is now. TS really helped me work around being lazy and procrastinating. I can't really explain why though. Also, this time next year, you will wish you had started today. Be the person you needed when you were younger. Edit second. Thanks for the gold and platinum. Yes, I know people hate these edits. You're getting one this time. I can't talk about this in the real world, but when I was young, I got bullied often due to my race by classmates and their parents. I almost transferred schools to escape it. I remember feeling it was so unfair and wishing I had an ally, a teacher or a friend, to stand up for me. Now I work with young people who have been subjected to racism, domestic violence, and homophobia. It is fulfilling to help them become their own best advocates, confront their pasts, and testify against their perpetrators. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. I hope this cat will help you decide on your decision to hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching, and always feel lucky.